Epic is a business consultancy firm, and we work around the world with governing bodies, we work with betting operators, and we work with sports teams and sports leagues around the world. And our place really is to, and we'll be doing this alongside SIGA under the auspices of SIGA Solutions. Our role is to help these organisations achieve the highest standards of sports betting integrity. And specifically, we have a very niche role to play in that, which we term as safer gambling. And that terminology being that we understand that despite rules and regulations in the game, players, athletes, people working within sports organisations will continue to gamble. And we want them to do that in a very healthy, safe and protected environment. And therefore we work with these organisations in order to help them achieve that. And we do that in three very unique ways. And these will be services that we will be offering through SIGA Solutions to all their member network. And the three niche areas in which we work, the first is lived experience consultation. And if I just very quickly explain that term lived experience, as it might not be familiar to everyone. Lived experience means an individual who has actually lived through their own experience of being a gambling addict. So it's an individual who has also been an ex-professional athlete, so has been an individual who has been on the field of play, playing in front of tens of thousands of people, but through the period of their career, developed a gambling addiction. And who better to truly understand the dynamics of harmful gambling than an individual who has actually lived through that experience themselves? So a massive part of Epic's work is that we use lived experience, ex-professional consultants to deliver all the programs we deliver. The second element is prevention. So we don't work in the area of treatment and recovery, and there are now many, many different ways in which sports organisations can detect and identify and monitor sports betting integrity breaches. But our position is that we want to stop that. In as far as possible, we want to stop that happening in the first place. So the work that Epic and SIGA Solutions will be doing is we'll be working on the preventative side of the industry, and that is about changing a mindset. Because even though rules and regulations are in place, individuals, whether that be players on the field of play or whether that be individuals working around the sporting organisation, they will continue to break those rules. And what we want to do is we want to get that down to a minimum, and that requires a change of mindset. Why does an individual decide to break a rule that is in place? It's because they're not concerned about the consequence, and that essentially is an addiction. I'm going to do that regardless of the consequence. And so how do we change that individual's mindset? So we use lived experience and we use prevention at the heart of what we do to try and change that mindset. And the third thing we do, and Stephanie mentioned it, which was about collecting intelligence and information and data, is we evaluate all the programs that we deliver. And evaluation to us essentially means it delivers a risk assessment to the sports organisation. So whether it be an organisation like UEFA, whether it be a sporting club like Sao Paulo, whether it be a sports league, or any level of governing body, what we want to do is provide them with insight into what risks exist within their organisation. Because if you don't understand where and how those risks exist, then how can you mitigate those risks? How can you implement effective intervention strategies if you don't truly understand what the problem is in the first place? So part of Epic's work and SIGA Solutions' work will be to evaluate and provide risk assessment for sporting organisations, where we will explore the relationship that people in that sporting organisation have with gambling. And that includes the players, it includes the coaches, it includes every single individual working for that sports organisation. And then we will provide those reports back to the league, the club, or the governing body that says, this is the level of risk that exists within your sporting organisation. So lived experience, prevention, evaluation are the three key elements of what we do and how we'll be working closely with SIGA.